Okay, how about now? Is there a sound now? Still no sound? How about now? No sound still. Okay, I will rejoin. Not sure what the issue is because everything is on. Now there is. Okay, very good. Good. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so I'm just really, I wasn't going to show you this, but I just see this lovely house here and I could not, but show this one to you. It's so cute. It's just a cozy corner of Tbilisi. Some of my favorite things is just, the laundry, the beautiful balconies. And, I like really, well, as much as I like, okay, Art Nouveau, intricate details and designs, all these things. I also like, I would say, very simple red brick houses built at the turn of the 20th century. And here I found this one and it looks cute, recently restored. For sure, the brickwork has been uh, cleaned and everything, so that's lovely. And well, basically, that's what my mom has been doing the entire day, looking around. I'm pretty sure her neck is already sore because she likes to pay attention to tiny details. And for example, I mean, even this house, very unassuming ones, has a cute cupid over there and a balcony. I mean, yeah, the woodwork leaves best to be desired, but we know that it's only a matter of time before either this balcony falls on someone or it gets repaired. Other than that, it's cute and it has even more cupids, chubby chubby cherubs. Chubby cherub. Можешь сказать chubby cherub? Chubby cherub. Chubby cherub. Это пухлощекий херувим. Chubby cherubs. For my mom, it sounds like a tongue twister. So, mom, come here, come here. So here we are. Chubby cherub. It's a chubby cherub evening. Chubby cherub. Gamma Java, everyone. Hi, everyone. So here we are. Sorry for the sound issues. I mean, it was my bad. It wasn't really fitted properly. So, I, as much as I like putting, my itinerary together in advance, just making sure everything works fine on the route and coming to the place in advance. It never really goes the way I planned because I always come across something interesting. And today, actually, Grisha and mom and me, we've been walking the entire day in this neighborhood, and I've discovered, the content enough for a couple of live walks. And I thought that actually that's where we would be doing the tour tonight. I'm playing it by ear, which may be kind of, I feel confident, here in Tbilisi because I've walked the street so many times, and there are always places that I discover for myself, and I think that you will find it quite interesting yourself. So, where are we? You know that while my mom is here, I show her around, all these touristy places, all these main landmarks she has already seen. She doesn't mind to see them again, but I want to show her a different Tbilisi, where locals go, where locals eat out, where locals shop, where locals like to walk around, where locals live, and I like history. So the neighborhood I am now in, Vere, is exactly that kind of neighborhood. It is the downtown, but this is not the downtown with a bunch of tourists. It's not the downtown where you would find crowds of, Chinese tourists, which I have nothing against Chinese tourists. I don't mind Chinese tourists, but, you wouldn't find these big tourist buses and everything. This is kind of a quiet neighborhood, and this is one of the centers, I would say, of kind of creative class. And this neighborhood was developed in the 19th century, like second half of the 19th century. And we had a bunch of tours in the neighborhood, but I have never taken you here. And I thought this would be really the perfect place for the walk because here we have some history, history, art history, interesting connections with the world, well let's say, historical characters of the world class, and we have some local stuff. So I guess this is the unbeatable combo. This is exactly what I'm always after on my tours. So let's get it started. And just in case for those watching me for the first time, or just for those of you who have just come across my channel, because I know this happens more and more, more often these days. My name is Anna, and actually I'm a licensed tour guide to St. Petersburg in Israel. But for a year and a half, I've been living in Georgia, in Tbilisi, its capital. And I've been sharing all my discoveries with the world. And so my mission is, while I'm so grateful to Georgia for providing us the place to stay and welcoming us and treating us to all this amazing food, my goal is, my mission is to make more people know about Georgia. It's still such, I would say, unspoiled corner of the world that has to be discovered. So this is my goal, this is my mission. And so thank you so much for joining me on this very difficult mission. Okay, so where are we? Well, this is the street a random tourist would never be taken to. However, we're not just random tourists. We are pretty, I would say, we are well traveled. We have been to a bunch of off-beaten spots. And we like both main tourist sites and also just, cozy corners, some local gems. And it doesn't really have to be super opulent. It doesn't have to be, I would say, in the perfect condition, right? It's about history, it's about stories, it's about people that make places special. And that's one of those neighborhoods. So it looks as a very unassuming neighborhood, which you can find, I'm pretty sure, everywhere in Eastern Europe. And it may be something pretty simple. However, all of a sudden, whoop, and you see this. Look at this lovely house. It's just a residential building. I have not. Hi, Ronnie Lynn. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all. It could be just, they haven't been able to find any information about the house, but I'm absolutely in awe with this house. It doesn't have to be an architectural masterpiece, but this is the building with the attitude. Have a look. It shows you this interesting combo of multinational character of Tbilisi. Look, we clearly have some Moorish style designs over there. And you can see also the star, which is not the Star of David. This is not exactly, it's not related to, it's not a Jewish symbol. Here it's just a very typical geometrical pattern, very popular in, I would say, in Moorish designs. The window is not in a good shape, but it's still there. Then a lovely windows that clearly remind us of the Ottoman influence. And I like this tower. It's just a residential building. Yes, it's not in the perfect condition, but I think this is a gem of the neighborhood. But I'm here for history as well. So let's move on a little bit. As I said, this is the neighborhood that started to be developed in, I would say, it started developing in the second half of the 19th century. And since it was a bit too far from the downtown, it became sort of the area with a bit more affordable real estate, a bit more affordable land. So it was mostly like young people, students, artists, and later on also were the medical staff of several medical research facilities that would be built, it would be opened in the end of the 19th century, would settle down here. Well, this is just a cute house. And this one is probably less cute, but has a very big story. So I told you, right? A lot of, creative class people, actors, writers, artists. So this very unassuming house actually happened to be the place where some really big discoveries in the world of art took place. And here I need to take out my other phone to introduce you to two brothers, which I really, really would like to talk about. But first of all, let me know if you remember this gentleman, Nicole Pirosmani or Nicole Pirosmanishvili. You don't have to be Georgian to know this name. And I have spoken so much about him on my tours. So Nicole Pirosmani is the Georgian artist of, let's say, early 20th century, late 19th century. And he is the artist who wasn't really supposed to become an artist. He was, I would say, from a very deprived background. He was an orphan, and he lived in Tbilisi, and he just earned his bread and butter by making different designs and painting his artworks for the decoration of the local taverns. He never studied any art. He never studied at any academy, and all his works, as there are it's just the work of his imagination. He developed his own technique. He never really he could hardly ever afford any canvas, and he was paid, with food for his work, or also he would be provided all the necessary instruments and tools and paints and brushes to do the work. That was it. This is one of the most iconic works of Nicopi Rasmani, The Fisherman, and you can find it everywhere, everywhere in Georgia. It's like a national pride. But believe it or not, the world would have never even known about Nicopi Rasmanishvili. But lucky for us, what? Lucky for us, hold on a second, I'm looking for some photographs. There were two brothers, Kirill and Ilya Zdanevich. So this is Kirill Zdanevich, an artist. And I'm looking for another image, wait a second. And this is Ilya Zdanevich. One of them lived in France, the other one lived in St. Petersburg or Petrograd. And one day they came to Tbilisi. And, they just were told that, there is an interesting local artist. His name is Nicopi Rasmanishvili. You may want to just check him out. They were in a Duhan. They saw his artwork and they found something to it. Normally, thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much for the tips. Now let's move on a little bit to see the house. Thank you for everything. Really means a lot to me. And locals knew of Pirasmani, but they never knew of all these artistic importance of the house and all of his works. They just didn't find it, I would say, anything special, because Nicopi Rasmani would normally depict what? Everyday life. Let me show you. Well, the fisherman, right? Or, hold on a moment. Just a second. I'm looking for, this is a fruit stand. It's called a Tatar fruit man or Tatar fruit stand. A very primitivistic style, very primitive, right? They didn't see any artistic importance to his works. I don't think I've ever shown actually this artwork. Basically, Kirill and Ilya Zdanevich became the very first, I would say, admirers of Nicopi Rasmani, and they arranged an exhibition of his works. First, it took them a while, to find them. Hi, Dolores, good to see you. It took them some time. I'll start moving on because we still have a bunch of other places to see, and I just like the way the street looks. This is Tbilisi, so it's all about literally, ups and downs. A very unassuming house. The apartment was on the third floor. Unfortunately, there is not even a memorial plaque on the building. There used to be, but it was stolen at some point, and nobody bothered to place another one. Well, but we remember. So this is amazing. And in this house, they had a sort of a salon, we can say it this way. They rented the house here, the apartment in this house, because they could afford it. They were not really living on the lap of luxury at that time. And unfortunately, one of the brothers, Kirill Zdanevich, I would say he decided to remain in the Soviet Union after the revolution, and Ilya Zdanevich decided to go to France. And Ilya Zdanevich became quite a prominent artist in the avant-garde scene of France. He became friends with Pablo Picasso. You see, they became very close friends. Pablo Picasso is doing a haircut for Ilya Zdanevich. I'm not sure if he's going to cut his Oh, it's a shaving. I'm not sure if it's scissors or razor blade, but quite a dangerous thing. Quite a dangerous thing. Reminiscent of Van Gogh, but no, it's all good. It's all good. And also, Ilyas Danevich worked with Coco Chanel. He was an interesting artist. He designed a lot of patterns for Coco Chanel's designs, and this is one of the Pret-a-Porter series that collections that Coco Chanel designed, and Ilyas Danevich was in charge of the prints. So that's an interesting collaboration. I have spoken about it on my other tours, but I've never really taken you to this place, so I thought it would be a good idea to show you the street where Nicoporos Manishvili really himself must have walked. Very cute archway, and the cat. Actually, it's a very cute archway. I like the house itself. The house is really cute. Not in the, again, perfect condition, but could have been much, much worse. And Ilyas Danevich and Kirill Danevich must have walked past this building multiple times, and their apartment became like a hub of artistic life, and the local artists, writers, actually from the entire Russian Empire, would be quite frequent here. This house had already been there here when this was happening, and these houses are the witnesses of those times. And Ilyas Danevich, who was friends with Pablo Picasso, by the way, he took up the name Ilyasd because Ilyas Danevich probably sounded a bit too difficult for a French ear, so they would call him Ilyasd. And he made sure the world, especially the artistic society of France, would know about Nicoporos Manishvili. And I told you that in 1960s there was a big exhibition of Nicoporos Mani works in the Louvre Museum. Yeah, and I heard the news that it's been robbed this morning. Goodness gracious. I hope they'll find Napoleon's jewelry that has been stolen. And it was all the result of, I would say, effort of Ilyas Danevich. He wanted to make sure that the world would remember Nicoporos Mani, because unfortunately Nicoporos Mani died in drenching poverty, and nobody even knew he had been sick for about a week before he was discovered in his shabby apartment in the outskirts of Tbilisi. And nobody even knows where Nicoporos Mani is buried. But we have his artworks, and what we have preserved is thanks to the Danevich brothers. And this is the famous portrait of Ilyas Danevich by Nicoporos Manishvili. So I think this story is quite interesting. So now enough of being nerdy. Let us enjoy the vibe of this neighborhood. It's still a very artistic neighborhood. There are a lot of, shops, coffee places, eateries of all sorts. Also, you must have seen a lot of political graffitis, because I would say, very free, liberal minds live in this neighborhood. We see a lot of Ukrainian flags. We see a lot of interesting artworks. And I particularly, how much I like Georgian doors, Tbilisian doors. And I really could not. Hi, Erkia Jan. I'm not sure if I read it correctly, but welcome. I couldn't pass by this nice composition. So there is a flower shop over there. So I just really like the idea, and I particularly know how much I like pumpkins, and this is the pumpkin season anyway. By the way, I haven't had my pumpkin latte yet, which is a shame on me. So you see this thing over there? This is a local kind of pumpkin. I've never seen it anywhere but Georgia. I don't remember the name, but we actually have seen this pumpkin before. It's when it's dried. It is actually, they don't really eat it, but when it's oh, very good. So welcome to Tbilisi. Good. So you really, if you are into, I would say also off-beaten spots, I he- I recommend to check out this neighborhood. It's very neighborhood. Um, well, such as, let's say, Barnov Street. Barnovi Street is one of the central streets in this neighborhood. You can find a lot of places of interest here and lots of good eateries. And I'll show you some more on the neighboring streets. So this pumpkin is actually used as a dipper. This pumpkin is used in winemaking because it's natural, because it's dry. They use it just to test if the wine is ready, if the wine has fermented enough during one of the processes, one of the stages of winemaking. And I just like these doors. I think it's gorgeous. Mom, I'm gonna need a photo here. And просто так постой, чтобы меня сфоткали. Well, my mom is assisting me.
Assistant.
Yes, my mom is my assistant, just in case. Her name is Olga, in case you forgot. Hi, Tori. Good to see you. Hi. So, and I asked my mom to just, I need some beautiful moment next to these beautiful doors. I have a thing for doors. Many of us have this kind of, door fetish. That's definitely the one. So I'm gonna need a photo. But we have a lot more to show you, so we need to go. Let's go. Thank you, Mom. I'm just using and abusing my mom's kindness and hospitality. I come to this street on a daily basis, in fact, because my son goes to several, hobby clubs, and so the places that he goes to are located in this area. So imagine that. Well, I have walked the streets back and forth many times. So some more history, please forgive me. I keep being nerdy, but I think it's important. First of all, look at this. No, not history. Just a second. Look at this cute alleyway. I mean, yeah, please disregard just all these graffitis. These are even meaningless ones. But just the vibe. It is Tbilisi. It is Tbilisi. But speaking of history, there is this very unassuming house. As I told you, it doesn't have to be an architectural masterpiece to have a big meaning and big importance. So this is the house, a very simple one, not a single decoration, nothing. But there is a memorial plaque there, and it's only in Georgia, which for a long time I kind of disregarded because, like, okay, if it's in Georgia, maybe it doesn't have really big importance, but I was so wrong. Little did I know. Actually, this is a very big memorial plaque commemorating, I'm so sorry for being so redundant. In 1917, when the Russian Revolution took place, Georgia became independent. But it didn't happen overnight. Actually, the independence of Georgia was declared in 1918. And there were a few people that stood behind it. And exactly in this house, the fate of the free Georgia was decided. It was decided that Noor Jordania would become the first president of the Democratic Republic of Georgia. Noor Jordania, the first president. And the roles and the positions of other people were also distributed in this house. So it was all prepared in this house, sleepless nights. And then for 3 years, Georgia enjoyed its independence. And after that, when the Bolsheviks invaded in 1921, the Red Army invaded Georgia and Tiflis, these people, together with Noor Jordania, had to flee. Otherwise, they all would have been arrested. So, by the way, this is the flag that you can still come across on the streets of Georgia, especially now in connection with the recent protests. So people are not happy with the election results, and you must have heard it on the news. That's pretty big. That was pretty big. So, when all these people, the members of the government of the Democratic Republic of Georgia, they fled eventually to France, where under Paris they purchased the estate Loville, I think so. I'm so sorry, please pardon my French. And this is where they sort of built the headquarters of the Georgian government in exile. Noah Jordania remained the chairman of the government in exile, and I spoke a lot about the people involved in the efforts to maintain the independence of Georgia and fight for its independence from the Soviet. So I spoke a lot about it on my tours of Russian immigrants, immigrants from the Russian Empire. The tours were called the Russian Exodus, but it wasn't just about Russians. It was about the subjects of the Russian Empire. There are a lot of second-hand stores, vintage stores, the pre-owned stuff that is you can find on sale, and locals like to shop in places like that because of I would say the taxes and the charges to import goods to Georgia pretty high. The brand new clothing, brand new furniture, not made, the one that's not made in Georgia is pretty expensive. So, yeah, not everyone can afford buying, a pair of shoes that's worth of 300 euros, 200 euros. So obviously not. Even less than that. Unfortunately, the average salary in Georgia is about $400 around that. Well, give or take. Hopefully, give then take. So 400 something. So people try to save a little, and I find it absolutely amazing because why buy new stuff if you can find something pre-owned in a very good condition? And I admire that. So you can find really good quality stuff. And I actually I started buying things for myself in the vintage stores, and a lot of things that I've purchased here, they are from this type of shops. Now there is something else I want to show you, and I will need a minute to take you there. I need to cross the street here as well. So I still, as much as I like unassuming buildings with some really big stories that took place there, I'm also a big fan of beautiful architecture. And this house I have showed you once, a beautiful example of Art Nouveau. That's the reason I actually spoke about Art Nouveau in the beginning of the tour. This house, yes, again. So for those of you who haven't seen any tours of mine, and especially for those of you who are planning to see Georgia, please do not be put off by the condition of some of the buildings. It's just that Georgia is basically still recuperating after a long crisis that started with the perestroika and then the civil war, and then there was another war in 2008. So it's basically everything that Georgia has achieved by now is the result of the past decade, which is incredible. So many houses are still waiting to be restored, but they are working on it. And look at this house. I'm a big fan of... Смотри, какое здание. Смотри, какие детали. I mean, look at this. Well, these Lorelei's are pretty mad. They are clearly not happy, but I know how we can actually make them feel better. If we restore the building, I'm pretty sure they would start smiling again. But there is something I want to show you. On my tours, many of you know that I always say that Georgia, Tbilisi is all about the courtyards. It's all about the life behind the facades. And that's exactly the case. I'll start speaking, I would say, a little more quiet because people actually live here. So a proper Georgian backyard has to have the laundry, has to have the balcony, some wooden work. I mean, look at this. So what I really like about this house that the balconies have been restored, and look at the designs. So we know, and I've done so many tours, and I have been doing so many tours about Art Nouveau. We know that in Art Nouveau, you actually have to follow one of the principles of which is that the facade and the interiors and the backside should be in harmony. They have to be beautiful. All from the house has to be beautiful inside out. And I think this house has clearly, it, oh my goodness, my head is just about to, I'm spinning around, I'm just about to collapse, and I don't know if my gimbal is going to survive, but I think they definitely follow these principles, and we can say that it's clearly checked. So this house is beautiful inside out. I mean, look at this work. I hope you're still here with me. I'm not sure if the chat is working, but I mean, this is gorgeous, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but yes, so there are some, so these decorations have been here ever since the house was built. I haven't found any information about this building. Unfortunately, there is still a bit of a mess with the archives. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy this building. I'm glad you enjoy the backyards. I think it's absolutely fascinating. And look at this wooden detail. So it's all, you see, it's just the very recognizable Art Nouveau lines. So I did show you this house before, but I've never taken you to the courtyard. It was closed the last time I was here, but now it's not. So a pure gem that we have just discovered together with you. And I started talking about the issue with the archives. So unfortunately, there is still a lot of buildings that there's no information about it, like at all. Some of the archives go destroyed in the turbulent years of the Soviet regime, and also the perestroika, which is the 1990s. By the way, this same house, look at these doors. Look at the tiles. The tiles are still here, and they are in the perfect condition. I am sure the tiles have never been touched. But it's not just the tiles. We are so lucky because there is even the ceiling decoration, the paper ceiling decoration. Мам, сними, пожалуйста, эту парадную. Сними, пожалуйста, парадную на свой телефон. I've just asked my mom to make a video of this because actually I'm here for the first time. I haven't been here before, and you know I am kind of a lobby hunter. I like to explore the lobbies, and many of them are inaccessible because people who live in these houses, they want to protect their privacy, and they want to protect what's left of those opulent times. And the amazing thing is actually that this lamppost is still here. I wonder if the ironwork is original, and it is. So this house has not been restored. So it's just amazing to have it. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. Well, again, you know how much I'm excited whenever I discover a new lobby. I've never been here before, so it's just happening live. A new discovery made live. Wow. And the gorgeous doors. Okay. And by the way, even here, so in Tbilisi, as much as in Israel, there is history everywhere you go, and you can also very easily overlook some old elements because they are just underneath your feet. This is a special kind of glass. It's kind of a bit of it's not even a magnifying glass, but it's a glass that was designed to intensify, to amplify the daylight, the sunlight. And normally this type of glass would be placed just to add more light to the basement, because in most cases the basements would be used as workshops, which means that this house had some workshop on in the basement. That's interesting. But we're going back. There is a lot more I want to show you. Again, It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be opulent. You just, sometimes you just have to do a little bit of reading and a little bit of just, I would say, reading between the lines, because sometimes a very, very plain facade like this can share a bunch of stories. Even these doors, are precious, not because of this, but because of this. Look, this is about at least 140 years old. This, it says in Russian, 4 letters. But how do I know this is before 1917 reform of the orthography? Because it has the old sign. And this was eliminated after the Lenin's reforms of the Russian language. So history everywhere you go. And these things, by the way, are precious. There are a lot of, diggers, like illegal diggers who like to steal stuff like that and sell it as a, kind of a black market kind of thing. So it's precious that we still have it. Yeah, it's a local supermarket, some local bakeries, some offices. So this is where the life is. Let me zoom in. Look at this lovely decoration. And there are a bunch of places that, well, tourists are just not taken to. And it's not just because tourists are so bad or they are so lazy or they just want to see the main sites. No, because some places also want to remain kind of a local secret that locals like to keep to themselves. And I want to take you to one of these places. We have been in this street before. There is an interesting wine place called Van Gogh. Van Gogh, but Van Gogh just to sound Russian. So you see the gentleman is drinking wine. And speaking of Van Gogh, there you go. That's Van Gogh with wine, you see? But there is something that I haven't shown you before. Mom, ты тут? I just want to make sure my mom is still here. My mom enjoying all these quests. Тебе же нравятся, да, все эти квесты? So I'm asking my mom whether she enjoys all these quests and just, following me. Are you enjoying it? Yes? Yes. Okay, very good. My mom doesn't speak English, but at some point she starts, to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so here we are. Nothing, I would say, too beautiful, but that's exactly where the big deal is. Let's see this location. I'm going to take you. So you remember I just been talking about the vintage stores, the second-hand shops, some thrift shops that locals like to shop in, and I want to show you my favorite vintage store. And I've been here, and I've been here today, and I asked permission to come and live stream from here. And since I'm a frequent buyer, I'm a good client. I've been given permission to come and show you this place. It's called Fidel. Fidel means loyal, so I think I'm a loyal client to this place. It's my favorite vintage store. This is not just a vintage store. The moment we just, enter the store, you will immediately understand why it's my favorite vintage store. Are you with me? Please let me know if you are. And before we enter, another lovely courtyard. Normally, many courtyards are closed, and they're only accessible to those who have the key. Look at this. This is just paradise. Are you with me? Let me know in the chat because I want to enter not just by myself, but I want all of you to come and do some shopping with me. Well, virtual shopping. Yes, very good. Very good. Come Joba. Hi, Annie. Yes. Hi. So this is Annie over there. She's been very kind and allowed me to come and show you my favorite vintage store. So let's see what we've got in here. I mean, whenever I come here, there is something new. They really treat this place as not just a shop, but it's like an antique store. There's lots of antique stuff. My mom doesn't even know where to sit because it looks like a, antique store. But it's, well, it's more than a store. It's like a big concept. I mean, and it's not a promo. I haven't been paid for it. In fact, I actually paid. I bought a skirt a couple of hours ago. I'll show you the skirt. Mom, can you find the skirt? You see, my mom doesn't need a translation. She already knows what I want. You see? So she starts, she's picking up very quickly. Look at this gorgeous bed. I mean, and all these things, well, not the bed, I think, but all these items are for sale. They are vintage clothing from Europe. Tamara is the lady who owns the store, and I did on my Instagram. I posted a couple of reels from the store, and let me show you the jacket that I'm wearing. I actually bought it here. This is the jacket, and it's vintage, and I'm actually loving it. So this is a vintage thing. My shoes, by the way, my kind of sneakers are also vintage. Oh, look at this. I mean, look at this furniture. I mean, I'm sorry. I think the chair is also for sale. Let's see how much it is. Is it? Yes. Is it dollars or Larry's? Price is 1,900. I'm not sure if it's dollars, or I will have to ask. Oops. You see, my gimbal is a bit in shock. I mean, look at that. Let me show you the fitting room. The fitting room is like a bedroom. Oh, by the way, Mom, come here. Let us know if you're with us and if you're enjoying the store. Here we are. Before I show you the fitting room, okay, since I'm here, ladies, get ready. Okay. You love those kinds of places along with the flea markets in the US, secondhand stores. Yeah, absolutely, dear. All these places are amazing. They have the soul, right? They have the vibe. They have some stories to share. Here we have lots of, the American, jewelry. This is, actually, I bought one item here, and it was from Avon. A lot of clips and all this stuff. Yes to both questions. Thank you so much, dear. I mean, look at all this. Ooh, all these big beads, bangles. Hi, Ronaldine. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you, dear. Hello. But we will come back here. I promised to show you the fitting room. Look, this is just the fitting room. But again, it looks like some fairy tales bedroom, some like princess's bedroom. If you're looking for something fancy, schmancy, glittery, for a big outing, this could be the dress. I don't wear things like this, but these are the dresses for the princesses. Yeah, this doesn't look like a wedding. It's like for a snow queen thing. The mantelpiece for a snow queen. Давай примерим. Ну, давай примерим. I want to see this. Mom, help. I want to try this mantelpiece on. I want to try this mantle. A cloak. I don't know what this is. It looked like a cloak, maybe, or something. I want to try it on. When I was a kid, my mom would always sew. Not on me, not on you, on me. My mom would sew a lot of costumes, for the New Year parties. Yes. No, it looks like a New Year thing. Ну завяжи. Tie it, please. Just tie it a little bit. Not my hair, no, not my hair, not my hair, not my hair, not my hair. Okay, so. Ты меня снимешь? Да? Okay. Hold on a moment. I'll switch the camera. So how do I look? How do I look? Like a snow queen, right? So это похоже на те костюмы, которые ты мне шила в детстве в школе. Yeah, so it's like it's like the New Year, like a Christmas costumes for, well, that we had some, New Year parties at school, so that's something like that. Well, I just wanted to feel like a princess from a fairy tale. Thank you, Mom. So давай снимай. Yeah, I feel like a princess. Oh yeah, my mom is going to put it back. I mean, you kind of have the idea, right? And also, this place used to be somebody's apartment. And this is also an old apartment. And you can see that. Look at the ceiling decoration. There are bits of this decoration still here. And old, and it's no princess-ish. No princess-ish. Look, this old wallpaper. No, it's not a wallpaper. Actually, it's the wall decoration. Lovely. Lovely. Look at that. Look at this furniture. This is clearly vintage. I mean, look at all this. And this is, by the way, the skirt. Давай покажем на мне. And this is the skirt that I bought a few hours ago. It's a very warm skirt. I'm not sure what the fabric is. I don't even know what the make is, but that's a good one. Blue is my favorite color. And I have like a blue coat. And I have a blue skirt and the blue shades. So it's going to be very blue. Very blue. So that's a lovely skirt. I really, really like it. I paid 69 lari for it, which is like $30. No, even less than that. Less than $30. And it's in a very good condition. Like clearly pre-owned, but in a very good condition. So I like it. Thank you, Mom, because my mom actually found it. I want to show you a couple things that I think are absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to buy it. I mean, it's not even going to fit me. Well, I think this jacket is gorgeous. I mean, look, different textures. All these work. I mean, it's so stylish. Look at that. It's not my size. It's probably my mom's size. It's tiny, but I mean, wow, just gorgeous. Very beautiful. Thank you, Mom. And my mom has also eye for all these things. Yes, we do understand each other very well. I mean, look at this. Wow. Wow. Is it knitted? Да, это вязаный. It's knitted. It's knitted and it's woolen. Wow. Really beautiful. I mean, look at all these seams. Not seamless, but I mean, it's a seamless work. Wow. Just amazing. Wow. This is not a cheap stuff. So that's why I like this store, because they have really high quality items and not, like crazy prices. And these are all items with history. Wow. And very good. Well, it's really lovely. Yeah. Even my mom likes it. And my mom is very picky when it gets to clothing. My mom is super picky. Like really, really, really picky. Okay, let's see a bit more of the jewelry. And by the way, do you actually realize that this is one of those famous Georgian terraces, right? It's like, Georgian courtyards and all these balconies and terraces. This is where the life is. This is where the Georgian and Tbilisian vibe is. So this is where we are exactly. Basically, we're visiting somebody's home. Oh, I want to see some more bangles. Yay. This is not gold, obviously. This is probably brass. Как ты думаешь, что это? Не, материал какой ты думаешь? Okay, so it's, yes, so it must be brass. Let's try it on. Yeah, neither do I. Maybe this is the locker? No? Yeah, that's the one. Let's try it on. Big thing. I know. I mean, girls are girls, so my mom is here with me. I just have this luxury of just doing some shopping with my mom, and I am going to abuse this opportunity, okay? I'm so sorry, but I see my mom once a year. Lovely. Thanks, Mom. Can you help me? Ну вот на эту же штучку нажми. Нет. Now it's in the whole Mission Impossible. No. Here. No, there you go. This one. Yes. Just press it. Yeah, there you go. Good. And I think there was a bangle you really like. Oh, wow. What is that? It's just a pin. Beautiful. Well, these things, I mean, there are many jewelry stores in Tbilisi. You can find really some amazing stuff. Look at this enamel thing. I think there's actually, maybe you can even open it. А он не открывается случайно? Посмотри, мне кажется, он открывается. The big bangles, all this stuff. When we were here with Grisha liked this one.
No.
I mean, this should open up.
No.
Doesn't?
No.
You think so?
No. Нет. No.
I bet it does.
Ah.
Grisha liked this bangle. Let's come to the light and see it. So Grisha's favorite color is green, so he thought I desperately need this bangle. I don't think so, but I like it that Grisha picks up stuff for me. So you kind of have the idea now, right? Мам, возьми, пожалуйста. Тебе ничего не интересно? Someone left an artwork here. I think it's a cute place. So it's been absolutely a must to take you here. Let me know if you have enjoyed it. Wow, I mean, look at this. Vintage bags. Well, it doesn't look Birkin, but you can have the idea. It looks actually very classy. Very classy. This must be leather. Well, clearly pre-owned, but I mean, it looks solid. Beautiful. You have to have the taste. I mean, this is the original decoration of this walls from the 19th century. This is the house. It was built at the turn of the 20th century, so probably end of the 19th century. And wow, lovely. Забрала мою юбку, надеюсь. I hope my mom has my skirt. I like all these candles. I like the way everything is arranged here. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. All these cute artworks. Didi Madlova, Ani. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, just an amazing place. It's just a treasure trove. It's such a great shop, and my audience is saying they really love the place. Great place. Thank you so much. I mean, I swear I'm not going to buy anything else because enough of buying, enough of spending money. But it's just a cute thing, you know, just cute. Thank you, Mom, with the extra lights and everything. Some really vintage clutch. Vintage clutch. Oh, конечно. I mean, but this is the bag with history, just imagine. It looks very stylish. Well, this condition is... Dolores, thank you so much for the tips. Thank you, dear. I mean, the condition is, well, you kind of have the idea, but... I mean, maybe it could even be restored. And wow, it looks very classy to me. Like, very classy. I don't know. Такой, прям, такой, тыщ, классная штука. So, my dears, I think you kind of have the idea how much there is hidden, you know, behind these facades, how much there is in these multiple archways, and even this courtyard. I mean, look, there is a palm tree, there are grapes, and all this, just a paradise. And this is mid-October. Back where I'm from, where my mom lives in Siberia, it's about -5 centigrade. Минус 5? Сколько сейчас в Новосибе?
Сейчас плюс 2.
Okay, but it
Было
was...
-9.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. So yeah, and for my mom, it's basically like coming to a resort because back where she is, back where I'm from, there is already snow in the streets. And it was like, I think the lowest temperature was like -10 centigrade, around that, a couple of days ago. But now mom says it's +1 or 2, which is, yes, which is definitely a game changer. Which is not, of course, I'm just being ironic. So this is, well, I believe that this lovely weather, which doesn't really have to be, it could be raining, you know, every day. I just don't want to jinx it, but I'm so grateful to the universe for the lovely weather from my mom. And it's just another opportunity for us to go out and about, enjoying the beautiful Tbilisi and looking at all these trees getting yellow. I mean, even like these windows. So you see, this is an old building. This is clearly end of 19th century. So beautiful, just gorgeous. That's what I say. So, my dear friends, there are going to be 3 more tours that I'm planning to do tonight. And the next one is in 1 hour from now. I'm going to be finalizing, you know, my 3 tours about the Henkin brothers. So it's going to be the 3rd tour tonight about the Henkin brothers. And then Misha is going to give a talk. Which tour? Oh, you forgot this one. Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. But you can watch the recording. I mean, even now, once we're through, just not yet because we're not finished yet. A few things that I want to share with you before we wrap this up. But you can immediately just, you know, wind it to the beginning and watch it from there. We've visited quite a bunch of places. I've shared with you. So what I like about, you know, these type of tours, I can like tell you both some stories, some really, you know, quality content, some history, some important personalities that I can mention, that I can share with you, make known to the world. And I can share with you the vibe of the city, take you to places where local go, introduce you to some locals when possible. So I think that my mission is complete with this tour. I feel the, you know, kind of the accomplishment. Okay, we did it, Mom. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been amazing. Thank you for finding the skirt for me. So we've done some shopping as well, which is, well, it's a pleasure. Yes, Mom. And so what we are doing tonight, so in 1 hour from now, I'm going to be wrapping up a tour about the... your mom needs a coffee. My mom needs some coffee. My mom definitely needs some khinkali, you know, Georgian dumplings. She's crazy about khinkali, as much as I am. So I guess it runs in the family. And then I'm going to be wrapping up my series about Henkin brothers. Then Misha is going to give a talk about the rise of Vladimir Putin to power. It's not a political tour, it's a history tour, because Misha has been doing a series of tours on the Soviet history, then the perestroika history, and it's just logical to to come up with the next episode. The first two terms of Putin are quite interesting and also kind of pretty much self-explanatory. And then I'm taking you to the Holy Sepulchre Church in Jerusalem. You love shopping with my mom. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, everyone. So I would like to remind you that all my tours are free to join unless they are, private commissions and your incentives, which you can always contact me for. Um, and I would appreciate your support. There is a pinned comment on the chat for everyone for your convenience. You can support me. You can say thank you to me by either sending me a PayPal donation, and or you could just buy me a coffee. This time, I'm definitely gonna buy my mom some coffee. I'm gonna buy her some khinkali. I'm gonna. We haven't had wine yet. I promise we haven't. But at some point, we're definitely going to need some more wine with my mom. Next weekend, going to be quite a one-off thing because next weekend I'll be doing my birthday tour with mom. That's exactly the reason for my mom's coming. And there's going to be some special walks. Also, then in a week from now, there's going to be some Halloween tours about Tbilisi, about St. Petersburg, about like a Jewish cemetery tour. And there's going to be, a bunch of things. AnnaYourGuide.com. This is my website where you can find my complete schedule, and there are going to be more tours scheduled shortly. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for this meaningful and a little bit meaningless but funny walk. I will see you in 1 hour from now. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Nice house. Bye bye, everyone. There's still a bunch of things to explore because I don't know what that is. So it's kind of a diary concept house. We need to find out what this is. It's not a hotel. It says concept house. Where does it say it's a hotel? I don't know. Maybe it is a hotel, but I like the brick walks over there. We need to find out what this is, but not now because. And as I said, I have already content for 2 more walks, so there's gonna be a lot to check out. Bye bye, dears. Yoo-hoo! Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and Ronnie, thank you so much for your membership payment the other day. Thanks, dear. Bye bye.